The essential question which guides our work at YWCP is, how will we negotiate the divide? The divide symbolizes the many factors which can interfere in a student's ability to access her learning. We like to use the acronym BASE. BASE stands for behavioral, academic, social, and emotional. Understanding the depth and breadth of our students' base needs, and then our ability to respond to them strategically and individually whenever possible, is at the heart of what we refer to as tapestry leadership. We strive to understand always from multiple perspectives. We use data and research best practices to drive our decision making. This is the YWCP way. During the closure, we have continued our quest to answer the question, how will we negotiate this divide? We began with the very core value of health and safety, and then to providing resources and access to learning. Our faculty and staff responded immediately and with an incredible amount of fortitude. We were able to leverage our established systems, practices, and beliefs to pivot to a remote learning platform. With all of the rapid changes and so much work to do, we distributed the leadership during the closure through the development of some strategic committees, or comms as we call them. We have the communication comm, or ComCom, datacom, techcom, and carecom. Through the work of individuals and these committees, we were able to meet the challenges in real time. We continue to analyze data and assess the needs of our students and all of our stakeholders in order to adapt to this new environment.
Strategic and skillful leadership. As students were working remotely, we were faced with a challenge of determining how to position the students for success so they could still earn credit and we could provide continuity for learning. First, we streamlined our Google Classroom in order to provide a consistent approach in assigning new learning. Next, we needed a way to track engagement and work completion. This data informs our next steps and allows us to target individual students, provide more support and scaffolding, and allows teachers to get a bigger picture on their students' progress across all content area classes. Based on the data from the engagement tracker, a natural entry point was to utilize the 15-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio that Advisory provided. This data dashboard requires advisors to complete an academic profile for each student. Additionally, the social emotional needs of each student are taken into account and allows the advisor and other teachers a glimpse into the whole girl and how they can be best supported. Excellent teachers and dynamic curriculum. Not only do our teachers use the traditional ways of communicating, such as email and phone calls, we have incorporated Zoom, Google Hangouts, and teacher Instagram pages to reach all students. Taking what works in the classroom, we needed to transition that to online settings. Small group learning recovery groups have been formed to help organize and focus instruction for select students. Teachers use IXL in a lot of creative ways to provide individualized instruction for students. Since IXL provides differentiated lessons by performance on the diagnostic exam, it is a great program for students developing English language skills or recovering credit from previous coursework. When developing our online learning platform, all teachers converted their Google Classroom to look consistent for students. This helps the students find all the assignments they need quickly, as well as keep organized on due dates for all classes. Every teacher is required to post 2 assignments each week, aligned to New York State standards with appropriate video lessons attached. YWCP still runs Advisory for all students, which is a staple for our school community. Teachers meet with their advisees at least once a week and are their contact person for any issues that may arise. The Advisory has taken on a more vital role in keeping students active and participating during online instruction.
Throughout this time of closure, I've had to significantly adapt my teaching, especially as a math teacher. There was a lot to consider moving to an online learning environment. I had to consider what students have at home, if they have access to a calculator to graph paper, what kinds of manipulatives that we no longer can use that we would have in the classroom. I decided that the best way for my students to be able to continue learning was to pre-record a very short video lesson of me showing examples, or using different Screencastify, different programs to record myself. And then I have to have them edit certain documents. So students would turn in work by editing a Google Doc or a Google Slide, and then usually would submit pictures of their work, because there's some topics like solving equations that aren't very easily typed. This has been a very interesting experience, and it's definitely going to impact my teaching in the future. I feel that it's made me grow significantly by using online tools to help teach math.
We have received a lot of positive feedback from important stakeholders such as parents, students, and alumni about our quick and seamless transition to online learning.
You add to it just not seeing our beautiful faces every morning, changing the way you do your job, something that most have been doing in routine for years. You guys still try and convince that stubborn child that this is no time to slack off, and you push that child that isn't even your own so that they don't ruin their chances for a bright future. And that's why we love and appreciate you.
Promise and future focus. Ayanna Thomas is a senior at YWCP. She has been with us since 7th grade and has been looking forward to her senior year since, especially because she will be the first person in her family to graduate high school. Ayanna describes how her teachers and advisor have provided her with support throughout school closure due to COVID-19 and continued her development of a growth mindset.
One way my teachers and advisor has supported me is by always answering the phone when I needed them to, always helping me with any work that I was struggling with, basically just being there for me when I needed them the most. And one way YWCP has helped me with a growth mindset is by encouraging me that I can do it, I got this, And
Maria Cruz, an incredibly supportive parent of an 8th grade student at YWCP, authored an article that was published in the Rochester Beacon in May 2020. The article displays both Mrs. Cruz's and her daughter's challenging journey through multiple Rochester City schools, including other charters. Mrs. Cruz describes that she feels her daughter Samantha is finally home, being at YWCP.
The moment she walked in at the end of the week, the first week, Samantha had a teacher, Miss Senecal. She contacted me and she asked me how can she support my daughter in the classroom. She was coming from homeschooling in a totally new setting, not the school that she was previously. Miss Senecal had walked with me through different process with Samantha, through the social, emotional learning part of her education and her experience at YWCP. She's very easy to access. She has communicated with me through email, phone calls, text messages, you name it, she has done it, which made it very easy when the crisis came and we had to communicate through electronic communication only. Ms. Senecal was providing information, resources for Samantha. She also kept communication through text messages and email. The counselor, Ms. Gears, she contacted me with the entire team of teachers, and I was able to have conference with the teachers. I was able to have a teacher coaching me and showing me how ISL works, how Google Classroom works. So I'm very, very lucky and grateful and blessed to have my child in a school like this, and have all these people behind her and all these people that really truly care about her education and about her future. So thank you very much, YWCP. Thank you very much, Miss Brink, Miss Gear, Miss Senecal, Mr. McGowan, Miss Garner, all of the teachers in the team for 8th grade that my daughter belongs to. I really appreciate you. I really thank you for everything that you're doing. I pray for you every single day. Thank you very much.
Social emotional care and development and whole girl opportunities. A very important aspect of YWCP's mission is looking at the whole girl. We do this through our advisory program, continuing that focus into the closure with SEL care and development of students and staff. This is done through many avenues. Weekly Griffin Table Talks allow our girls to Zoom with different members of the school and guest speakers from the community. Topics range from staying healthy during the pandemic, staying organized at home, to online bullying. Another avenue for best supporting our students is through our 15-to-1 initiative. Advisors are tasked with understanding where students are in terms of participation, organization, health and wellness, and student need, which they document in a central shared tracker. Through the use of standardized codes, advisors can quickly assess how students are faring and contact the appropriate staff or family supports at home to best support students. Furthermore, we created a digital weekly planner to assist students with time management from home. These planners can be modified by advisors to differentiate individual student needs. Advisors then use these planners to organize and create schedules for students to meet with the appropriate teachers. We also use advisory to track attendance through the question of the day, a quick and fun survey question to engage our girls and assess their participation. Also, our Griffin Help Zone is even in full operation during the closure, with our G8Z staff conferencing and connecting with students who have different social emotional needs.
Our goal during closure is to provide a quality safe haven where girls at YWCP can come and talk to us about anything. We're there to talk about school, we're there to talk about family. If you just want to talk about the quarantine, we're there to talk. Another goal of ours is to basically keep that interaction going that we had in school, outside of school. So the girls know that we're there and we still care even though we're at home.
Throughout our time in GHC, we have built close relationships with the students, especially the students that are seen as more challenging, because they spent an immense amount of time in our room, whether it just be to take brain breaks or to gather themselves emotionally before reintegrating back into the classroom. And because we built that trust, communication, and understanding with these students, it provided us a space to be able to continue communication with them even after the closure and during the quarantine. So at this point, some of the stress of being at home is alleviated by us onto them, just by providing them someone to talk to, someone to kind of clear their mind with.
YWCP has also cared for the social and emotional well-being of its staff during the closure. Staff have been utilizing the Band app to stay in touch during quarantine. For example, fun activities like daily staff shoutouts, quarantine fairy gift exchange, and virtual happy hours keep the staff connected even when we are apart. We have created many opportunities to connect and celebrate with our girls during the closure. In mid-May, we held a virtual Spirit Week where students and staff could send photos through advisory for daily competitions. In order to honor our seniors, staff organized a parade to give out lawn signs and t-shirts commemorating their graduation year. Seniors were surprised at their homes by various staff members to receive the gifts. Additionally, on social media, each senior has been featured with their picture and different facts about them. Lastly, one of our most anticipated events of the year is the Day of Caring, held at the end of each April. This year, our Day of Caring was done virtually through the writing of letters to frontline medical workers in our community. Students were able to thank those working with patients with COVID-19, and they were sent to hospitals and hospital workers in our community. At Young Women's College Prep, our mission has always been to negotiate the divide. Strategic and skillful leadership has positioned us to adapt to these unprecedented times. Our goal remains the same. Regardless of where the learning takes place, we remain promise and future focused. The social emotional care and development of our students remains our top priority. And our dynamic curriculum empowers our excellent teachers to educate the whole girl.
We have stayed promise and future focused and aligned to the YWCP way. And as the proud principal of YWCP, I could not be more proud than the students, faculty, staff, and families who have worked together to help us get through these unprecedented times.